what's happening with them. Salaki. If our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the power of this world have blinded the minds of them that believe not. See, some of you blinded, some of you fools, because you don't want the wisdom, and some of you fools that you don't want to be instructed. But the way of this world, the people of this world, you bow down to them. They all that. But when it comes down to really wanting this gospel of the light of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, you ain't with that. That don't excite you. So you a fool. And you've been blinded by the God of this world, the power of this world. They have set you up to continue to disrespect and offend the Most High. I don't care how you look at it, or prove me wrong. Because I got to bring it. I got to tell you, because your blood ain't going to be on me. In whom the power of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Lest the light, we know that light is what? We just defined the light. Proverbs 6:23, the law of the Most High, of the glorious gospel of Mashiach Yahushua, who did not sin, who kept the laws of the Most High, who kept the commandments of the Most High, which are the same, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. Well, he can't shine unto you because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. You love this world. You love this world more than you do the Most High. You know, Mashiach Yahushua, that's why he called you this. James 4:4. You love this world. You're adulterers, because you don't commit adultery against the Most High, because you got something, the world, like I say, the God of this world, right? The power of this world. You love them more. You love this system more. Whatever you give your attention to, that's what you love more. You don't give your attention to this, you ain't following what it says to do. Why should the Most High bless us and we're not doing what he say do? Make that make sense. That's why I use a little child bad as ever, and you're gonna take him to Magic Mountain. You're gonna, oh, you bad? Okay, well let me make sure I treat you to something that you love, that I know you love for being bad. Come on, that don't make no sense, man. That's why I say we just, man, I don't know, it's just bad. That's why the Most High called us a lot of names. In his Bible, he called us a lot of names, man. Filthy rags, and you know, man, he called us a whole sidest children, silly and stupid, you know, children. And he love us, but he calls a lot of names, man. Y'all think whatever it is that a man can say to you is, man, you better understand the Most High, no joke. He just said, I'm gonna melt you. What's worse than that? He said, I'm gonna melt you. But people don't believe it. Okay, well, we'll see. That's why I say you're adulterers, you men that have gone against the Most High, and you men that sleep with other men's women. And adulteresses, and you women that's married, sleeping around with another man. Know ye not that the friendship of the world, the God of this world that you believe in, the power of this world, that all these things to pacify you, to keep your interests going so that you will not do what the Most High say do, where he say he gonna melt you? You think he can't do that? You think he ain't gonna do that? That's what he tell you. Look, you better understand, you adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world, if you're not dealing with the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and what he says to do, you adulterer. If you ain't doing what the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob says to do, you adulteresses. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? You at war with the Most High. It tell you in Hebrews 10:37, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world, you want to deal with the power of this world, is the enemy of the Most High. Care how much you pray. Care about your prayers. He said people praying to themselves. That's why he said in verse 10, he said, humble yourselves in the sight of the Most High, and he shall lift you up. He said humble. People not humble. They're not humble. That's why he said, look, Amos 9 to 10. Amos 9 to 10. He said, all the sinners of my people, all those that break the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, them preachers saying you ain't under, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. You better ask somebody. Most High gonna bring it to you. 2nd Ezra 7th chapter. 2nd Ezra the 7th chapter and verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded. A city is builded. And set upon a broad field. And is full of all good things. Yes. The city been built. It's already been built. Mashavashai said, he's going to go prepare a place for us. He said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. Look at 2nd Ezra 8, going into the future. In verse 52. Going to you that are humble and not accounting yourself as one of the righteous. For unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. Remember, you put the swords around the tree of life so you couldn't live forever. That's why you put the swords around the tree of life, so you couldn't live forever. That's what we're working for. That's why it's so important to follow what he's saying. He said, for unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. You know that the time to come is prepared. That city is building. Right? The time to come is prepared. Listen, it said, plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded. See? A city is builded. New Jerusalem is built. And rest is allowed. That's when we're going to have that peace. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom in the kingdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. To be burnt up. Going back to 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. And verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow. Let's read verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. Yes. Whatever you desire. Can you imagine? You think of something and it just appears. Full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. So it's narrow, only gonna tell you, and one only path between them both. Even between the fire and the water. So small that there could but one man go there at once. So it's so small that only one man can go at once. Where it's fire on one side and deep water on the other side. So you fall on this side, you're going to burn up. You fall on this side, you're going to drown. There ain't no land. You see? That's what he's saying. And that's why we want to try and go through them pearly gates, as y'all say. But the gates are, let me show you the gates so you know. Only one person going to go at one time. That's that judgment. Go to Revelations. 21. Look what he said in verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven that we in now, this heaven where we at now. And the first earth that we in now were passed away. And there was no more sea. There's no more sea. That's 3/4 of the earth. There was no more sea. That's a lot of land. And now John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, come down from the Most High out of heaven. It's already prepared, it said. Just waiting on us to get our knuckleheads together. Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. See? Verse 6, and he said to me, unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst a fountain of water, this word of the Most High, of life freely, to live forever and ever and ever. He that overcometh shall inherit all things. Good things, remember? And I will be his power, and he shall be my son. Look. Jumping down to verse 12, it said, and it had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. And at the gates 12 angels. Remember, it says it's narrow. That's why I said when you look at the New Testament, there's no New Testament. Mainly it's going back to what the Old Testament has told us, giving a little bit more understanding of what it's talking about. Like it says, you know. And only one, in verse 8 of 2nd Ezra 7th chapter, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go through there at once. Say, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance that we read about, New Jerusalem, if it never shall pass, if he, the man, never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? I mean, it's going to take, you know, like I said, it's going to be great tribulation, man. But everybody's going to have to deal with that. Everybody will have to deal with that if you get your mind right and your spirit right with the Most High. Look what he said. He's seeing this in a vision. Mashiach through the Spirit is showing him this. Revelation 21:12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 great gates. And at the gates 12 angels. One angel at each gate. And at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You better learn them 12 tribes. Names. On the east, 3 gates. Only one man gonna go through at once. On the north, 3 gates. Only one man can go through at once. On the south, 3 gates. Only one man can go through at once. And on the west, 3 gates. You see? So, that's what it's talking about. Looking at 2nd Ezra 7 and 10. And I said, he's saying to the angel Uriel, just like Mosai always sent an angel to talk to us, a holy angel, but y'all call it the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. Spirits are angels, holy angel, Holy Spirit, same thing. They say ghost because you can't see it. They put ghosts in there. Like they put a few other things in the Bible and took a few things out of the Bible. But see, y'all think everything is okay for whatever it is they've done. Most High had his hand in to make sure that it's enough here for us to see and understand and come back to him to be able to reach salvation. He didn't allow that to go away. But they did add things to this Bible because they're the only neighbor of the Israelites who's not given any promise of mercy. You better hear what it's saying. I digress. 2nd Ezra 7. And I said, verse 10, and I said, it is so, Most High. Then he said unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, the 12 tribes of Israel's portion, because for their sakes, for the 12 tribes of Israel, I made the world. Hear that? For our sake, he made all the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, which he was supposed to live forever and ever and ever, the Adamites, then was decreed that now was done. You see? Then were the interests of this world made narrow, as we just read, when it's supposed to be broad. Just come on and live forever. Just do what I say do. All you need is me. That's why I say, when I went through Hosea 5 and 15, it hit me really hard, because he said, I'm going to go to my place until we acknowledge our offense and seek his face, because he turned his face away from us by not doing what he say do. And offending them, making them cry. Made the Most High cry. Saying your affliction, you're going to seek me early. Think we don't deserve it? It's terrible, man. To this day. Well, I say the truth is a revolving door. People ain't about the truth. Temporary souls, man. Verse 12, then were the interests of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil. You just say they are but few and evil, full of perils. That's dangerous, y'all. And very painful. Listen, for the interests of the elder world, when he made us in his image, were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. That's what I'm telling you. You say we're going to live forever. You say you eat of the tree of life. That's why you put the swords around the tree of life once they ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Then you don't allow that to, can you imagine the world we'd have? If he'd allowed them to materialize into immortality with this good and evil that you see in the world right now, you take the evil and thing that you see in the world and it's going to live forever. Come on. Come on now. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Most High made the whole world for our sake. Can you imagine that? Most High was very happy. I made you in my image and you're going to live forever. You don't need to know anything about evil. All you need to know about what's righteous in my eyes. That's how the kingdom, it just said we're going to be all righteous. That's how it was. We were all righteous. That's why I went from, in the spirit, going from saying what we was going to the kingdom into the land of Canaan, coming out of, Egyptian captivity, going into the land of Canaan, and how it's going to be going into the kingdom. Deuteronomy 32, 8 and 9. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, that's their lands where they're going to live at. Look at the back of the Bibles. You'll see the Most High got those different nations in their own land. The Most High didn't make us all to dwell together like America, this great melting pot. Of nations. This is what he did. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated, see, he didn't degrade everybody. He separated the sons of Adam. Because everybody come from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons. But he separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So once he gave we the Israelites our land, then he gave the other nations their land. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. And Jacob was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Name was changed to Israel. We became the Israelites. But you see, the Most High portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Go back to Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city Is that one? 17, Salakia. Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city in the time that you see martial law coming down and shall not be able. Not going to be able to. Because look, let's go up to verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. This is something that's going to happen in the future. Can you imagine? That's why Esther was saying, woe is me, woe is me, who would deliver me in these days? Most I gave him these prophecies, man, of what's going to happen in our last days, and we sitting around here acting like everything is cool, not preparing yourself for what's getting ready to go down. Look, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, like I'm speaking in the ears of the Most High's people right now. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. The words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Most High, and cause them to be written in paper. That's why I can read it right now, and you can read it right now, right along with me. For they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, and speak against thee. That's why I say, we want to be here. At least I want to be there. Most High will. It's worth working toward. I know that. Don't let nobody take you off your path or your crown either. He told us in Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So in famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, just like he just said. Just like he said. It's real.